All right, let's go ahead.
All right. My name is Melvin Irvin. I'm here this morning with Reinhardt University's athletic director, Bill Popp. Coach Popp, thank you for meeting me this morning.
You're welcome.
All right. This interview is for my PED 260 class, Intro to Kinesiology. Coach, can you tell me where you're from?
I am from right now in Canton. I was raised mostly in Marietta, Georgia, but actually moved here from Detroit, Michigan before then.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where my family's from, Detroit,
Right.
Michigan. Yes, sir. How long have you been the AD here at Reinhardt, sir?
Beginning my 11th full year.
Okay. How did you get to the position you are at today?
So I started as a coach 22 years ago, college baseball coach at Oglethorpe University, other side of town, and knew that someday that I wanted to work toward an administrative position. Didn't exactly know how or when that would happen, but when I was afforded the opportunity to come to Reinhardt start the baseball program here, part of the deal was to become an assistant athletic director and then transition to athletic director pretty soon after that. So after my first year here at Reinhardt, then I was able to move into the position.
Okay. What were your what are the the credentials
Sure.
you would say for being an athletic director?
I think there's a couple different ways you can look at athletic director positions, and obviously the first one would be get your master's and work through athletic administration. That's not the route that I took. I actually coached for 20 years before as I was becoming an administrator, I also was a coach. So I think experience probably has a lot to do with it. My background was sports management at Kennesaw State, so kind of knew that I always want to be involved in sports somehow or another.
Okay. So you didn't go to grad school and nothing like that?
I did not go to grad school. How about that? I do not have a master's degree.
Okay then. Could you give me an overview of your responsibilities and duties as the athletic director here?
Certainly. The day-to-day is pretty much kind of keeping track and looking over all of the sports. We have 19 sports here now, and that has to do mainly with watching budgets, kind of just your operational stuff, your game days, your practice times, all the things that go out of this office, and really just coordinating with my staff here and then also with the athletic coaches and kind of working with them. So that's kind of the bulk of what we do. Obviously, there's a ton of things to do like eligibility,
Right.
And then I'm really heavily involved in a lot of the NAIA things. I'm on a couple of different committees that help kind of as leadership kind of stuff for the NAIA as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How do you decide what gets the top priority when scheduling your time?
Yeah, I think that's hard. You have to really be careful that you don't spread yourself too thin when you're in a position like this. You got to kind of prioritize what those things are. So again, for me, on a daily basis, I always check on budget, make sure we're working toward those appropriate things. A lot has to do with making sure that our student athletes are eligible, taken care of. Those are priorities for us as well. And then it's just kind of making, and we call it the putting out the fires, making sure the daily problems, the daily things that come up can be taken care of. So,
with the eligibility, I know Dr. Mullins does that.
Right.
Are you pretty involved in that a lot?
Yeah, probably as far as since he's fairly new to the position, and also Valerie Peel, our coordinator of operations, is pretty new to the position. I've probably got the most background and knowledge on eligibility, just being involved in it for a while now, and so I kind of help wherever I need to help, whether that be if they have a question that I can answer, or if I make a phone call to try to get an answer, those kind of things.
That's okay then. What made you want to become an athletic director?
Well, it was years ago. I kind of knew that I wanted to go into coaching, and then from coaching you start thinking about what you can do if you don't want to be a coach anymore.
Right.
That kind of leads you to administration, and really enjoy the college setting, being around great people that I've been able to put together a great staff here, and I really like working with all of them. But the other thing is being around student athletes and being around
Right.
young guys like yourself and ladies and guys, and help them kind of grow up a little bit and mature and learn about life and do these kind of things where we sit, visit, talk about what your future is going to be like, and I think that's probably the best part of the job that I have is being around
Right.
you folks for sure. So,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Okay. What do you most enjoy about your job?
Again, I think that I just kind of answered that probably the question before is I just truly enjoy the relationships that you develop with student athletes and trying to help them kind of figure out what their path in life is going to be, and then the relationships that I've been able to develop with the coaches and the other staff members that I've worked with, not only here but at every stop I've had, whether that was at Oglethorpe and here at Reinhardt, or even in some of my other sports duties that I've been around in coaching summer baseball. It's always just been great to have those relationships develop. Yeah.
No doubt. Okay, this is kind of funny
Okay,
question. It's kind of
alright.
funny question. Since you have been at Reinhardt, have you ever had a hard decision of having to let somebody go?
Yeah, a couple times.
Couple
And
times.
they are really, really difficult. That's just something you can't prepare yourself for. You kind of have to gain experience as you're doing those things. I had a great mentor here in Dr. Lee. That's who I reported to for most of the time that I've been here. Recently, I've been switched, and now I report directly to the president. But in my time with Dr. Lee, he mentored me so well in working through some very, very difficult times. And you try to do the best you can for those folks because you want them to have success in their life still, even if it didn't work out for them here at Reinhardt.
Okay. Can you give me your top 3 most memorable moments as an athletic director here at Reinhardt?
That's a very challenging question. I think the announcement of football obviously would be one of those, and kind of beginning to put my mark on that one. Obviously, here at Reinhardt, one of the biggest things, I wasn't the AD quite yet. I was an assistant AD when this started, but being able to start a baseball program from the ground up as well. And, but then I think more recently, and I can't narrow it down to one, but the success of our student athletes, not only on the field, but in the classroom.
Yes,
boy, oh boy, we are doing a great job.
Okay. With the positive also comes the negative. So what are some of the more challenging aspects of your job?
Yeah, I think we continue to fight through things like making sure our facilities are handling what we're doing to them, because we beat our facilities up like crazy. We got multiple sports on our fields. We got multiple sports in our gyms. Making sure that our student athletes are growing and developing is a challenging thing sometimes. We have to keep an eye on them. Sometimes they make bad decisions, and so we have to go. We have to go help them through those bad times and those bad decisions. Negatives aren't a big part of what we do here. It's been very positive at Reinhardt, so it's hard to answer that question a little bit. Yeah.
As a sports administration major, I do want to become an athletic director one day, and I know some of my classmates do. What advice could you give me or any of my classmates that are thinking about going into this profession?
Yeah, this is interesting. That's a great question, because I didn't know it at the time, and I'll give you a little background here. I didn't know it at the time. When I was coaching at Oglethorpe University, I worked for an older athletic director who'd been around the game for years and years. He was a basketball coach and athletic director. And he assigned me to so many tasks that I thought, man, this is awful. Why am I having to be at the soccer match on Tuesday afternoon? I got to be at the basketball game on Friday night. Then I got to do all my baseball practice. I got to do everything on. I didn't understand. He was teaching me how to run a show, how to learn about operations, how to learn about things that are going on in the department, and so much of becoming an athletic director. While you can learn a lot in a book, a whole bunch needs to come from your experiences as well. And so I think anything that you can learn, anything that you can be a part of that's going to help you develop into an athletic director is key. I tell this story often. There is not a job around here that I don't have some kind of have. So I know how to fix the dryer. I know how to hang a basketball net. I know how to mow a field. I know how to, I know how to spread rubber over the turf and make it safe for everybody. There's no job that you shouldn't know how to do, and that's part of the experiences that you got to grab when you're out there in the field learning.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, I thank you for your time
You bet.
Today. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.